Welcome, everybody, to a new CBSI Presents Hot 10 list for this week, February 7th, 2020. I'm Brian McClay from CBSI Presents Tales from the FlipSide. Going to do a quick rundown of the Hot 10 list this week. For those of you guys that don't know, you can find the Hot 10 list at CBSI, comicbookinvest.com. Go ahead and head on over there for all your comic book speculation needs. We've also got some amazing articles this week. We've got some new weekend after Wednesday's articles from Matt DeVoe, some dollar bin digging from Peter Renna, some really great articles out there. So make sure you guys go check it out. And we'll go ahead and get into the show real quick here. Let's go ahead and do this. All right. So as you guys can see, not very many co-hosts there this week because life happens sometimes. So we're just going to go through it, run it down. Hopefully this will help you guys out. There are a couple books on here more than a couple of books on here that you can go and find in dollar bins tomorrow and make some decent money off of. So let's go ahead and get started. For our Golden Age book this week, we have got My Secret Romance #2. What Ben says about this book is the Overstreet price guide is about $100 for a 7.0, and recently a CGC 7.0 sold for $1,000 plus. So there's only 2 graded copies of this book in existence, which is kind of crazy, I guess, for this book, but we always have a Golden Age book on our honorable mention list, and that is this week's Golden Age book. Next, we have Dolmen. Is it Dolmen? I think it's Dolmen, #16. This is a foreign book, very interesting book. For those of you guys that don't know much about the foreign market, it's really heating up right now, in large part to some really good podcasts done by FlipSide's John Z and Matt Roybal, called Comic Book Safari, I believe it's called. So make sure you guys check that on Tales from the FlipSide's YouTube page. They're doing some great work over there. They've also been helped immensely by a lot of people out there that have been doing foreign collecting for a long time. So this is one of those books that you can find out there that you can make some good money on, but most likely if you find it, you might want to hold on to it because this is a really hard copy to find. This is a really cool Adam Hughes death cover. I imagine this is probably something that he would have done in a sketchbook or something, and every once in a while they will be putting these out as covers. They do that a lot on some of these internet exclusive shop exclusives. They used to use a lot of sketchbook material, but this is a beautiful book, and a really beat copy of this showed up on, I guess, eBay and sold for $75 the other week. That's raw, not in very good shape, but it's Adam Hughes. It's a rare book. You foreign collectors, keep your eye out for this one and let me know if you find one because I love it. All right, on to the next one. We've got, I don't even know how you say this name, so I'm going to butcher it probably. Agretsuko #1, and I believe this is a Netflix show or cartoon that has come out recently. Oni Publishing, Oni Books did a comic series, and I believe this is the second print, and it's selling right now for $10 to $15. I believe this was a new release this week, so another book you can go out and buy for cover, throw up on eBay or wherever you're selling your books, make a couple bucks off of. Don't know much about the show, so I'm just going to go ahead and go on to #8. This week at #8, another TV spec option book, The Spire ~1. This is a book that recently got optioned, I guess. Boom Studios published it, and it's a $20, $30 book right now selling for. So make sure you guys go ahead and look for this book. More option spec news. So we're going to hear a lot about this. We always do. Make sure you go take a look and see if you have that one. Throw it up. #7, Magic Order #1, the San Diego Comic-Con PX variant. This is limited to 2,000. Prices on this book have jumped from around $10 or less to $25, and the raw variant, the 9.8s of this book are up at $150 or more. So this is a pretty cool cover. It's limited to 2,000 copies, San Diego Comic-Con variant. Mark Millar stuff that I think that's how you say his last name, Miller, I don't know. But another book that's being optioned, and you never know about some of these Millar World books. I know he signed a big deal, I believe, with Netflix or one of the streaming services to put out some content. So we'll see if this ever makes the light of day. On to number 6. This is another new book that recently came out. This has got the first appearance. This is Lois Lane number 8, which has the first appearance of Kiss of Death, which has generated some buzz this week. And raw copies of this book are 15 plus. So if you guys can find this book out there, go ahead and check it out and maybe make a couple bucks off of it. This is a really interesting book for number 5. This is a really cool cover. We all seen these covers before from the Power Rangers series. And they're doing a cool Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover, and this is kind of a take on some of those early Power Rangers covers where it shows the characters holding their helmets. And this is a second print 1 in 10 variant of Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 1. Obviously, it shows Shredder holding a damaged Power Ranger Green Ranger helmet. Really cool variant. Surprisingly, this book is getting $40 to $50 on the secondary market. Really cool cover. If you can find this one right now and you aren't too happy with how it looks, go ahead and throw it up and make some money off of it. Another foreign variant. Oh boy, this is one of the big ones. This is Hombre Araña number 128. So basically I believe the Spanish version of Amazing Spider-Man. This is the famous Gwen Stacy wedding issue that we've talked about many times on Tales from the FlipSides and Comic Safari. So for those of you guys that aren't in the know, make sure you guys go check out Comic Book Safari with John Z and Matt Roybal. They believe they talked about this book before. If not, they will definitely be talking about it in the future. For those of you guys that don't know, I believe the story is that when Marvel decided to kill off Gwen Stacy, they in the Latin market, they were a little bit unhappy with that and decided to keep telling stories about Gwen Stacy and Peter that Marvel wasn't doing. And they went as far as doing a wedding with Peter and Gwen Stacy. And this is that issue. So a lot of people out there looking for this book, and 2 have sold recently. A raw copy sold for $1,400 back in the summer. And just recently, another one, a very good raw copy, sold for $1,900 plus. Wow. Just more evidence that foreign variants are super hot right now, and worth checking out, worth looking for. So do your homework on that one. All right. On to number 3 this week. We have the Mighty Thor number 372. This is one of those dollar bin books that I talked about in the beginning of the show. You can find these still to this day in the dollar bin. Go pick them up and maybe make $20 off of it, because it looks like, because of the recent Super Bowl commercial in which it showed the Marvel Disney Plus properties, there was a Loki scene where somebody was wearing a TVA costume, which stands for Time Variance Authority, and I guess that's like one of the like FBI, CIA type groups in the Marvel universe. And this is the first appearance of that group, Thor number 372. So go look at those dollar bins, those 50-cent bins. Maybe find you a book you can throw up for $20. Who knows how long this will last, but get it while it's hot. All right, on to number 2 this week on the Hot 10 list, CBSI Hot 10 list. We have got Journey into Mystery number 622. Ben says similar to number 3 below. This first appearance of Ikol, I believe is his name. That's kind of weird sounding. IKOL. Shot up from cover price to $20 on the secondary market, with people thinking this could be a villain that's going to be opposite Loki in the Disney Plus show. But as Ben says, remember the first rule of comic collecting. Well, one of the rules: villain spec rarely pans out. So, if you can find them cheap, do it. Throw them up. Maybe this isn't one to hold. Maybe this is definitely one to sell. But before we get into issue number 1 this week, I want to remind everybody to go check out comicbookinvest.com, where you can get some really cool variants over there. All you got to do is go to comicbookinvest.com, click on the CBSI variants tab, and you will find all kinds of really cool homage variants, store variants, really cool books. For example, you can get the Over the Ropes #1 variant for $12, which I believe is limited to 150 copies. And of course, with every CBSI variant that you buy, $1 goes to charity, which is pretty cool. And for 12, 11, $15, you get some really cool homage covers, some really cool variants, and throwing some money at charity's way, which is nice too. So make sure you go do that. Also, if you get a chance, check out CBSI Swag for all your CBSI clothing, hats. They've got some really cool stuff over there right now. They've just released a new shirt. Actually, let's take you there real quick here. Let's see what it is. CBSI Swag.com. Here we go. Really cool new Wu-Tang homage shirt. Protect your tees, CBSI Clan Wu-Tang shirt, and of course the always famous CBSI Skeletor Glow in the Dark shirt. This is my favorite, the CBSI homage to G.I. Joe. Just some really cool shirts over there. Make sure you go check those out. Back to the list, and our #1 book this week, an oldie but a goodie. This is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, number 28. This is an interesting one because about 2 years ago, this was a super hot book that a lot of people didn't think about right away. It wasn't until maybe they read it or saw the cover that they saw Beware Omnipotensis. Is that how you say the name? I always get that one wrong. I believe it's a female-like Galactus character, and this is her first appearance. What Ben says on this is this was spec'd on about 2 years ago, and it recently jumped from a less than $10 book to 50 plus raw, and 9.8s are now hitting 275 plus. Pretty crazy. And I don't know, if this has been confirmed, some type of spec out there on the big screen or whatnot. But it's definitely a worthy book if you can find it cheap and maybe even grade and make some good money off of it. So this is why we put out the Hot 10 list every week, give you guys a chance to go make some money on the secondary market with some really cool spec books. But always remember that it's really tough to make money on books that you hold. Make sure you're selling these books and not waiting, because every day that goes by, some of these books will continue to drop in value. Some of them every once in a while will go up, but most of the time with these TV spec and movie spec, we see these drop in value. So get it while the iron's hot. And we appreciate you guys joining us every week. Again, sorry that it's only one host this week. Life happens. We want to give a big shout out to John, Z, and Ozzy for their recent loss. Their father passed away, so send your positive vibes their way. And we appreciate you guys hanging out with us every week. And we will see you next time.